So improving vein-to-vein time, a lot of companies I speak to are taking innovative approaches to CAR-T manufacturing in an effort to streamline the process, like we were talking about earlier. And I'm curious, and Tal, you alluded to this earlier, aside from a concrete facility design and manufacturing capacity, you mentioned biological constraints. So I'm curious, on a cellular level and as it applies to industry, like how fast can we possibly make CAR-T? Like on a biological level, what are the biological constraints that limit vein-to-vein time?
Yeah, and I think that's, we're going to talk more about point of care, but I think that's exactly that's the challenge for point of care. If you're trying to make something at the point of care, you're going to have to make it quicker, right? And then can we make a CAR T cell so much quicker? Can we make it within 24 or 48 hours? Can we make enough on it? Can we transduce enough cells so that we don't have to expand as much? Or can we push the expansion? So I think these are probably the two bottlenecks. And definitely there have been a lot of improvement in the transduction space, using different transducers and different technologies. But I think, again, if you're really going to shorten that vein to vein, as you call it, time, then you need to shorten the process, essentially. If we're not talking about allogenic products right now, if we're talking about autologous. And I think that is the main challenge before all the regulatory challenges that we're going to talk about, testing and inspections and GMPs, right? First, show me that you can do it, and we'll figure out the regulation and all the rest.
Thank you, Tal.
And I think to add to what Tal is saying, I mean, look across the whole, like, vein to vein is a nice image because it really, covers the whole spectrum. And, the part that all three of us really focus on is, hey, once the starting material comes into the manufacturing facility, how quickly can we get the batch manufactured? Tal then referred to how fast can we get it tested and released and then shipped back. I know later on we'll talk about point of care. There is this shipping aspect that bookends both ends of the process. Figuring out, with geography, can we attack some of that? And also looking at the release timing. That doesn't get as much attention. I know it's one of Tal's focus areas. But how can we shorten and not only shorten, but I think simplify the release testing to make it really value added and not trip us up in the whole release process.